Good morning again. We are going to continue with this part of the unit, only this and this. You can read through this and you will notice that it's a little bit confused as well because maybe you don't know a lot of things and you don't understand. So let explain it in a different way. Okay, review a little bit. These are protons. They are in the nucleus and they have positive charge. These were neutrons that are also in the nucleus with a neutral charge. That means no electric charge. And then electrons. Okay, so let's go into count. This atom has 1, 2, 3, 4 protons. So it will have 4 positives. And then 1, 2, 3, and 4 negatives. 4 positives and 4 negatives. If we add them up, si lo sumamos, that will be 0 because it's 4 positives and 4 negatives. So this atom has no electrical charge because it has charge inside the nucleus positive and outside negative. But if we count all of them together, the atom is neutral. Do you understand what I mean? So in general, atoms can be neutral. Let's go to put this into word. Atoms can be positive or negative apart from neutral, but how? Because sometimes when we count the electrical charge of the subatomic particles, we don't have 0. Each proton, as I told you, counts 1 positive. Each electron counts 1 negative, and the neutrons are not counted because they have no electrical charge. So if the charge is positive and negative are added, the result can be higher than 0, the total charge is positive, so the atom will be positive, or lower than 0, the total charge will be negative and the atom will be negative. If they have the same number as the example that I told you, they have the same number, the atom will be neutral and stable. But what happens in the case that, for example, we have 1 less electron than protons, so we have 4 protons and 3 electrons, and yes, that can happen, or that we have 1 more electron, so we have 4 protons and 5 electrons. So in that case, the atoms are called ions, iones. And this is something that is not in the book, but I consider that is very easy and is good for you for the secondary. So atoms with electrical charge, positive or negative, are called ions. The positive ions are also called cations, and the negative ions are called anions. And here there's a mnemotechnic rule, una regla mnemotécnica para memorizar. And never forget that cation is positive. Why do I know? Because look, a cat and cats are good, so they are positive. And you can imagine, like instead of eyes, they have a positive symbol. But if we have anions, that is very similar in the pronunciation as onion. Onions are bad because they make you cry. And when you cry, you have your eyes like negative symbols. So onions are bad, they are negative. The anions are negative ions, okay? So let's see an example. In this case, let's going to count. This has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 protons, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 electrons. So we have here the charge will be 1, 2, 3, oh I'm sorry, I put only 5, but it will be 6. 6 protons and 6 electrons. That will be the total charge 0. So it will be a neutral atom, stable. This is an atom of carbon. Let's go to another example. In this case, we have a positive ion. So what was the name? Remember, positive, the cation, very good. So if we count, in this case is lithium, another element. We count 1, 2, and 3 protons. We count 1, 2, 3, and 4 neutrons, but it doesn't matter because neutrons have no charge. So we only have to add protons and electrons. How many electrons? 1 and 2. So it has 1 less. If we put plus 3 minus 2, the total charge will be plus 1. So the atom will be positive. Can you see here? 3 positives, 2 negatives, the total charge will be 1 positive. Easy. Another example. In this case, we have another type of element, the fluorine. You see, they have more protons, neutrons, and electrons. This is a bigger atom. How many protons? I'm going to count them here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 protons. But electrons, 1 and 2, and then 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So it has 10 electrons that are negative, 9 protons, so the total charge is positive. Sorry, negative. Oh, another mistake. Well, this will be negative, of course. I made a mistake. I'm going to change in the presentation. That will be an anion, remember? Negative here. Okay, and then we are going to practice, and you're going to like this. You click this, and you can build an atom. I have here, it's like an app. You go here to atom, and you have here protons, neutrons, and electrons, and this is the periodic table. So let's go into see. I can put 1 proton, and look, this is hydrogen. But if I put 2 protons, will be helium. And if I put 3 protons, will be lithium. And I can continue adding. Look, I've only have protons is a positive ions. If I click here, the net charge is 4 positive. Now I'm going to put neutrons, and notice nothing happens. I can put as many neutrons as I want. That is not going to change the charge because the neutrons don't have charge. But if I put electrons, look, 1 electron, then I have only 3 positive because I had 4 before, but then 1 negative. And then I continue. It's still a positive ion because I have 2 more positives than negative. If I try to put another one in this first orbital, see what happened? I can't, because as I told you in the first line, only 2. And then I continue. Wow, what happened here is neutral because it has 3 and 3. If I put 1 more, will be a negative ion, okay? It's cool, right? So you can prove by adding more protons. And then if you add protons, you change the type of element, okay? Because the number of protons is what says what element we have. The number of electrons is just going to change if it is positive or negative, but nothing else, okay? So look, lithium with 3, it is a neutral. If I take 1, it's positive. If I put another one, will be negative. Let's going to continue to the presentation. Okay, here. Oh, here, by the way, you have a periodic table. That this is like a table in which we have all the elements that is something like this. We have all the elements with the symbols, but you really don't need to learn this, of course. You only need to learn what I told you. And then a deduction. If we change the number of protons, it becomes a different atom. As you notice, can be oxygen, boron, fluorine, each of them have a different number. But if you change the number of electrons, it is the same substance, but with an electrical charge. And here is what we have, electricity. When we change the number of electrons, we can produce electricity because it becomes an ion, okay? So what can we do to atoms? In fact, usually we cannot change one substance into another, so it's very difficult to modify the number of protons, and usually we can't. How can we do it? We could do it with radioactivity or with a nuclear reaction, a nuclear bomb, or in a nuclear power station. Una central nuclear sí que se puede cambiar el número de protones, but we cannot do it because we are just people. At home, we can't do that. We can't. But we can easily change the number of electrons in many substances. So adding more electrons or taking them away. Do you want to do an experiment? Because we have superpowers to change the number of electrons. Let's go into do it. Do you want to modify the number of electrons on your hair? So let's go into do this. You need a balloon and you need your hair. So if you frotamos the balloon with your hair, frotamos el globo en nuestro pelo, And then you tell me what happened to your hair. If you have a very short hair, you ask for a volunteer, your mother, your sister, your father. If they have longer hair, it works. What happened? So when you do it, you probably notice that your hair moves up. And here is the explanation. We are creating static electricity. Why? Because by rubbing the balloon, the electrons pass from your hair to the plastic of the balloon. And when they do that, they are creating electric or static electricity. Why? Because then your hair becomes positive and the balloon becomes negative because it has more electrons. So the opposite charges attract each other, and that's what happens, that your hair tries to go up towards the balloon. Do it, and if you can, very quick, take a picture of your hair trying to get the balloon and send it to me through a message or put it in the wall of Edmodo. That's the first challenge, to put a picture of your hair with static electricity, so you have moved electrons from your hair to the balloon. And the next one that is really cool, look, you have created static electricity. Do you remember in the Monsit we did that? Some of you touched a sphere and then they transferred the electrons and your hair was charged. Do you want to try another experiment? Look, you need a plastic pen, como un bolivic, a wooden sweater. It doesn't have to be wooden. Esto es hecho de lana. Uy, woolen. Me falta la L. I'm sorry. Your school one will work. La chaqueta del cole, el jersey del cole, and very, very tiny small pieces of paper. So we are going to wrap the pen on the woolen sweater and we are going to place it close to the pieces of paper. And I'm going to do it. Look, I'm going to do it. I have been practicing. So what you have to do is to wrap very little pieces of paper and you put it on a surface that you can see there are little pieces of paper. So you can cut them very small. Look at my finger. They have to be really, really, really small, okay? So then you're going to take a pen and you are going to take a sweater and you are going to rub. What is rub? Frotar. Do it very fast. Very, 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 very fast, very fast, very fast, very fast, very fast. And then, look what happened. It's magic. It only lasts for a while, but I promise that it didn't happen before. Look, after a while, it doesn't work. So try that at home. It's very fun. And then send me a picture also, please. Okay, I'm going to change into the presentation back. And what is the explanation? Because the plastic gets electrons from the woolen sweater, so the plastic will be negative, and the paper is naturally positive, so they get attracted. If we have two particles that have different charge, they get attracted. If they have the same charge, they repel each other, okay? That's the explanation. So you have created electricity. So what happens in a circuit? That the electrons are continuously forced to move. Why? Because we have a battery. So the electrons are going to move from the negative to the positive part of the battery, right? And this flow of electrons is called a current, una corriente. So they are running here. These are like the electrons always running in a circuit. And then this is an electric circuit that has these components. I'm going to explain them later. So this is like a model of an electric circuit. This will be the battery. Here, look, battery. This will be the wire, el cable, right? The wire. This will be the light bulb, la bombilla. This will be the switch, el interruptor. When the switch is open, the current cannot go through it, so it doesn't work. And when the switch is closed, the current can flow. Sorry. So it works, right? This is the switch off. Cuando está abierto, está apagado el circuito. Y cuando está cerrado, está encendido. Switch on, está encendido. This is the wire. The wire is usually made up of a metal because they are good conductors, okay? So that's all. I hope you like it and you understood everything. And then what you have to do is, you have to do these exercises, exercise 2 and exercise 5, okay? Goodbye and see you next day.
No te he hecho nada de ruido.